All right, welcome back. We are continuing on with the sampler, just plowing our way through. And we have next the raised fishbone, which this stitch is really great for creating leaves. I have not found a purpose of it outside of that, but this one is my favorite for leaves. And yeah, I find this stitch really fun and really relaxing. So we're just going to go for it. So we've got our needle and thread ready to go in a nice green, so it's gonna look like a cute little leaf. And we're just gonna create, that cute little starter stitch from the back to the front, and then back down, and then putting our needle through. Pulling that tight, and now we are ready to go. You're going to take your needle and start at the little point. Great. Pull it tight, pull it all the way through. She got caught on herself. She's good though. Great. And then you're gonna go down through and then like stop somewhere around like here-ish, like through the middle of the leaf, kind of following where that like middle point would go. Pull that tight, pull that through. And then we're going to come up through here. It's in line with where this stitch ended. You're gonna come up through there, and then you're gonna go back down right next to where that stitch is. Like right there or so. Great, pull that tight. And then you're gonna go through to the opposite side and pull that through. That's again on that little parallel. And you're gonna pull that tight. And then now you're going to go back down and kind of do a little crisscross. So like you're taking the thread and you're going like this. And you're gonna go back down through there. So all of those three are like in a cute little line. You can see on the back, it's like starting to create like parallel lines. So if you do this correctly, the back should look like a satin stitch, but the front is definitely not going to. So, and then we're going to pick back up just under this last guy, pull that tight, and then go back over here, just under that last stitch. We're just gonna keep on doing that. So now that we're like about halfway-ish through, you can kind of see you're just gonna be creating a bunch of little X's kind of over each other, and they're just gonna overlap as you go. The end of my thread here. If you watched my satin stitch video, you know what we're about to do next. But if you didn't, here's what's going on. So you're going to cut your thread at the base of the needle where the eye is, kind of creating that strand as long as you possibly can. And we are going to put this cute little end here in our little thread jar. Save her for later. And then you're going to take one more strand. If you want to learn how I separate strands and how, like, to what length I cut the strands off the skein of embroidery floss, you can watch my tips and tricks video for how to do that, as well as an in-depth video on how to thread your needle. Thread is all ready to go. You've got 2 strands here. So you're gonna take your needle and you're gonna go through a couple of these stitches, just going like under them, not pulling them loose or anything, just like very gently passing under. And then you're going to put both the end of your thread that you cut off and your needle through the loop. So we're pulling them both tight like that, so they're both in that little looped knot thing. And then I'm gonna cut off some of the excess here so it doesn't come back to haunt me, but not too much, because then otherwise it might just like slip out of the little loop, and we don't want that. And then we're just gonna pick off where we left off. I don't really remember where I left off, so I'm just gonna go from the bottom to the top again on this side. As long as your crisscrosses are going the same way, it doesn't matter. Alright, so we've gotten to the part where it's all filled in. We just want to create this like downward spine all the way through to this like little tail end here. We've just run out of lines on the bottom to really do that effectively. So we're just gonna kind of fake it. So I'm coming up through the end there, and I'm just gonna like kind of come back down in the middle-ish. And then I'm gonna come up through this side and do the same thing and just try and cross it as much as I can. And now I know this side is entirely done, so I'm just gonna satin stitch the rest of this closed, so it's all going in the same direction. This is incredibly helpful for if you have a leaf that's like cut off like here, and you don't get the chance to like finish it. This is the trick to doing that. And there we go. She's all done. This cute little leaf. By far one of my favorite stitches to do. She again eats thread kind of like the spiderweb stitch and the satin stitch, but that result is so satisfying. Like, dang. So we're gonna knot off the rest of this thread. We're just gonna put our needle through the last couple of stitches. And then before pulling it tight, we're gonna put our needle through the loop and wrap it a couple of times and pull it tight. And we're gonna do that one more time, just on its own. And now we have thread ready to go, already knotted off. I'm gonna cut off a little tail here. And there you have it. That is the raised fishbone.